Heat 2.
Take your mark.
In lane 2, Neil Weiner. Lane 3, James Elder. Lane 4, James DeLacy. Lane 5, Robin Clefman. Lane 6, Lawrence Turkle. Lane 7, Tony Gleason. And in lane 8, Rick Meyerhoff. And touching first, James DeLacy, an unofficial time of 31:26. Please exit the pool, gentlemen. You can get your times from the timers behind the block.
Exit, please.
Thank you. Please exit.
We have 46 heats of this.
Again, swimmers, please exit the pool immediately following your race. Heat 3.
Take your mark.
In lane 2, Bill Reeder. Lane 3, Ralph Bovard. Lane 4, Larry Wright. Lane 5, James Sullivan. Lane 6, Tom Alderson. Lane 7, Robert Durrell. And in lane 8, Clark Yeager.
We have a call turn in.
Nice swim. Please exit the pool.
Lane number 7, non-simultaneous touch.
Heat 4.
Lane 8, top knot.
Take your mark.
In lane 1, Gordon Paul. Lane 2, Alan Wicke. Lane 3, Hubby Kearns. Lane 4, Bill Bahoon. Lane 5, Rick Kalea. Lane 6, Robert Wilson. Lane 7, John Foote. Lane 9, Philip Sinatra. And in lane 10, Mark Longworth. Touching first, lane 5, Rick Kalea. Please exit, gentlemen. You can use the ladder to either side of the pool if you need. Heat 5.
Take your mark.
Lane 2, Jack Hill. Lane 3, Dan Armstrong. Lane 4, Keith Robinson. Lane 5, Lumen Wing. Lane 6, Chuck Burr. Lane 7, Jeffrey Blumenthal. Lane 8, Michael Fast. And lane 9, Warren Turner. In that last heat, I believe Rick Colea set a new National Masters record. Touching first, lane 5, Lumen Wing. Heat 6.
Take your mark.
In lane 1, Kim Onisko. Lane 2, Lee Harris. Lane 3, Henry Vehovech. Lane 4, Kerry O'Brien. Lane 5, Daryl Smith. Lane 6, Daniel Warnschuis. Lane 7, Duncan McBride. Lane 8, Greg Hayes. Lane 9, Doug Maring. Lane 10, Jeffrey Peddlety. Touching first, lane 5, Daryl Smith.
Thank you. Please exit.
Heat 7.
Take your mark.
In lane 1, James Perry. Lane 2, Patrick Murtaugh. Lane 3, Robert Heath. Lane 4, Bruce Pach. Lane 5, Paul Dennison. Lane 6, David Lindstedt. Lane 7, Mark Evans. Lane 8, Greg Meek. Lane 9, Paul Clark. And in lane 10, John Morales. Touching first, lane 5, Paul Dennison with an unofficial time of 26:24. Nice race, gentlemen. Please exit the pool. Heat 8.
Take your mark.
In lane 2, Glenn Mabiel. Lane 3, Jim Alkier. Lane 4, David Hayward. Lane 5, Thomas Woods. Lane 6, Bill Ireland. Lane 7, Matt Ewan. Lane 8, Donald Fleming. And in lane 9, Jean-Luc Sanches. Touching first, lane 5, Thomas Woods with an unofficial time of 28:94. Heat 9.
Take your mark.
In lane 1, Ed Henricks. Lane 2, Thomas Melgar. Lane 3, Chris Engelhart. Lane 4, Mark Egan. Lane 5, Mike Gibson. Lane 6, Renee Klabaugh. Lane 7, John Westergren.
Have somebody come over and talk to the admin to get it switched around.
And touching first, lane 1, Ed Hendricks with an unofficial time of 29:32. Heat 10.
Take your mark.
In lane 1, Eric Johnson. Lane 2, Scott Power. 3, Robert Freund. 4, Thomas Taylor. 5, Dennis Fisher. 6, Michael Bergman. 8, Brent Washburn. 9, Kenneth Halbrecht. And lane 10, Franklin Mansilla. Touching first, lane 2 with an unofficial time of 27:20, Scott Power.
No 1 or 7.
Thank you. Please exit.
No 1, no 7.
Heat 11.
Take your mark.
In lane 1, Thomas Tomasic. Lane 2, David Sims. 3, Brian Kelka. 4, Thomas Duxbury. 5, Chuck Ponthier. 6, Tom Harville. 7, Jerry Colross. 8, Brad Wells. Lane 10, Bryant Lum. Touching first, lane 1, Tom Harville with an unofficial time of 25:11. Please exit the pool, gentlemen. Heat 12.
Take your mark.
In lane 3, Jose Burble. Lane 4, Trevor Isaacs. Lane 5, Soli Nafi'i. Lane 6, Eric Bluell. Lane 7, William Johnston. And in lane 8, Brian Haberstich. Touching first, lane 5 with an unofficial time of 33 flat, Soli Naii.
Call on the start in. I have a DQ on the start end. Okay. Lane 3, one hand contact, DQ. Please write it up. Lane 3, acknowledge.
Heat 13.
Take your mark.
Lane 1, Peter Jouch. Lane 2, Michael Turner. 3, Stephen Freitas. 4, Ray Frost. 5, Ken Kuntz. 6, John Wilhelm. 7, Sean McNeil. 8, Roland Smith. 9, Raymond Camacho. 10, Daniel Buscaglia.
Can you make a quick announcement that this person needs to see the announcer on course B? Riccatelli.
Would Nathan James Riccatelli please come to
Announcer on course B.
announcer on course B? That's the main pool. Nathan James Riccatelli.
Thank you.
Thank you. Please exit.
Pool.
Touching first, Ken Kuntz with an unofficial time of 29:33. Heat 14.
Take your mark.
Lane 1, Bill Elizondo. 2, Richard Morris. 3, Ed Coates. 4, Daniel Ferguson. 5, Charlie Yu. 6, Greg Shorey. 7, Jeffrey Serpin. 8, Scott Carroll. 9, Craig Coda. And lane 10, Greg Pirotti. Touching first, lane 6, Greg Shorey with an unofficial time of 26:58. Heat 15.
Take your mark.
Lane 1, Rick Woodweek. Lane 2, Brian Bunch. 3, Curtis Jenkins. 4, Philip King. 5, Norman Scourge. 6, William Gardner. 7, Graham Burkhold. 8, Stephen Powell. 9, Daniel Tom. Lane 10, Randy Howe. Touching first, lane 5, Norman Scourge with an unofficial time of 26:92. Heat 16.
Take your mark.
Lane 1, Brad Jones. 2, Douglas Woodring. 3, Michael Sorensen. 4, Mark Beagle. 5, Steve Hilta-Biddle. 6, Stephen Unruh. 7, Mike Irvin. 8, John McComish. 9, Michael Power. And in lane 10, Clark Ledger. Touching first, lane 5, Steve Hilta-Biddle with an unofficial time of 24:36. Heat 17.
Take your mark.
Lane 1, Gustavo Murillo. Lane 2, Todd Verkus. 4, Philip Golden. 5, Patrick Wen. 6, Matt Cloutier. 7, James Holt. 8, Derek Sandstrom. 9, Mike Gaw. And lane 10, Joseph Bartfay. Touching first, lane 4, Philip Golden with an unofficial time of 28:37. Heat 18.
Take your mark.
Lane 1, Todd Holmes. 2, Mikhail Lazarev. 3, Scott Hubbard. 4, Scott Jackson. 5, Jim Dietrich. 6, Scott Adams. 7, Chris Courtney. 8, John Chung. 9, Michael Letton. 10, Charles McPeak. Touching first, lane 3, Scott Hubbard with an unofficial time of 26:27. Heat 19.
Take your mark.
Lane 1, Brian Anderson. 2, Ross Breitenbach. 3, Michael Foote. 4, Gregory Bever. 5, Darby Crow. 6, Daniel Shates. 7, Daniel Parton. 8, Jim Brandon. 9, David Moreno. And lane 10, Jim Newsall. Touching first, lane 4, Gregory Bever with an unofficial time of 26:09. Heat 20.
Take your mark.
Lane 1, Leonard Lindahl. 2, David Dunson. 3, Ronald Scott. 4, David Sumner. 5, Brent Holston. 6, Peter Moore. 7, Will Lane. 8, Abram Solano. 9, Chris Siborowski. 10, Cliff Harbort. Touching first, lane 5 with an unofficial time of 23:65, Brent Holston. Heat 21.
Take your mark.
Lane 1, Nathaniel Nacharian. Lane 2, Aaron Norton. 3, Travis Smith. 4, Mickey Barta. 5, Ryan Foster. 6, Ryan Jones. 7, Joshua Menez. 8, Bobby Wu. 9, Stefan Schellnauer. Touching first, lane 6 with an unofficial time of 29:17, Ryan Jones. Heat 22.
Take your mark.
Lane 1, Matt Reason. 2, Brian Goldberg. 3, Rodrigo Iglesias. 4, Justin Walton. 5, Thomas Rickner. 6, David Andre. 7, Shane Stender. 8, Irving Ambrosio. Lane 9, Paul Fesser. Touching first, lane 7, Shane Stedner. An unofficial time of 26:98. Heat 23.
Take your mark.
Lane 1, Stephen Gold. 2, Brian Ragsdale. 3, Volodymyr Kraskiov. 4, Ryan Lathram. 5, David Cole. 6, Adrian Montoya. 7, Daniel Gent. 8, Grayson Morris. 9, Andrew Wood. 10, Tally Taylor. Touching first with an unofficial time of 25:02, lane 5, David Cole. Heat 24.
Take your mark.
Lane 1, Joshua Schwartz. 2, Val Bagri. 3, David Bell. 4, Robert Putnam. 5, Roberto Delgado. 6, Scott Greenwood. 7, Dominic Mastraccio. 8, Aaron Hawks. 9, Kelly Karen. 10, Daniel Monin. Touching first, lane 4, Robert Putnam with an unofficial time of 23:81. Heat 25.
Take your mark.
Lane 2, Nicholas Burnett. Lane 3, Krasimir Petkov. 4, Roberto Gita. Lane 5, Jason Welchel. 6, Dustin Pfluger. 7, Peter Bosler. 8, Ellison Wada. Touching first, lane 7, with an unofficial time of 26:92, Peter Bosler. Heat 26.
Take your mark.
Lane 1, Eric Jacobs. 2, James Heath. 3, Belly Reinhart. 4, Kyle Giroux. 5, George Qualley. 6, Michael Denny. 7, Mark Beard. 8, Aaron Cooker. 9, Aaron Thomas. And lane 10, Ted Wallach. Touching first, lane 8, Aaron Cooker with an unofficial time of 25:06. Heat 27.
Take your mark.
Lane 1, Johnny Ivanyi. 2, Kevin Mendelhall. 3, Jonathan Goler. 4, Peter Ford. 5, Alexander Gerber. 6, Aaron Cole. 7, Tyrone Jimison. 8, Alejandro Manrique. 9, Wright Stanton. 10, Chad Giroux. Touching first, lane 6, Aaron Cole with an unofficial time of 23:21. And attention, if your car has been parked on the baseball field, it is going to be towed. Attention, if your car's parked on a baseball field, please move it to avoid being towed. Heat 28.
Take your mark.
Lanes 5 and 6 both have seed times faster than the national record of 22:52. Keep an eye on them. Lane 1, Jacob Swin. 2, Christopher Press. 3, Matt Ulrichsen. 4, Daniel Latano. 5, Mario Marshall. 6, Jeff Natalizio. 7, Michael Grados. 8, Andrew Deman. 9, Lucas Peterson. And 10, Jeffrey Pierce. And touching first in lane 1, an unofficial time of 22:35, which is a new Nationals record, Mario Marshall. Heat 29.
Take your mark.
In lane 1, Hugo Alvarez. Lane 2, Joseph Whithune. Lane 3, Robert Nito. 4, Francisco Miranda. 5, Arthur Zhang. 6, Matthew Zachin. 7, Richard Olympia. 8, Emmanuel Torres. 9, Guillermo Patino. And 10, Andrew Steele. Touching first, lane 3, Robert Nito with an unofficial time of 25:58. Heat 30.
Take your mark.
Lane 1, Philip Zemansky. 2, Thomas Trednick. 3, Jason Smith. 4, Guido Moret. 5, Nader Ammer. 6, Benjamin Pulskamp. 7, Nicholas Chukia. 8, Matt Sinnott. 9, Francesco Manzi. 10, Isaac Trumbo. And touching first in lane 6, Benjamin Pulskamp with an unofficial time of 24:52. Heat 31.
Take your mark.
Lane 1, Ben Smith. 2, Gibson. 3, Savalich. 4, Vogel. 5, DeBerry. 6, Snyder. 7, Wang. 8, Colvert. 9, Barham. Lane 10, Hoff. Touching first in lane 3, Bobby Savulich with an unofficial time of 22:95. Heat 32. Lane 1, Lei Yuan. 2, William Duong. 3, Michael Schwartz. 4, Alexander Rosbach. 5, Robert Frowley. 6, Ryan Svensson. 7, Tyler Michael. Lane 9, Jason Cohen. Touching first, lane 3, Michael Schwartz with an unofficial time of 24:23. Heat 33.
Take your mark.
Lane 1, Avelo Babalov. 2, Trace Souter. 3, Patrick O'Donnell. 4, Blake Schaefer. 5, Andrew Burnbridge. 6, Zach Hansen. 7, Kyle Begovich. 8, Garrett Hubbard. 9, Blake Kelly. 10, Graham Charlton. Touching first, lane 10. Unofficial time of 23:60. Heat 34.
Take your mark.
Lane 1, Orion Young. 2, Mauricio Uranga. 3, Blake Buchanan. 4, Paul Schweitzer. 5, Nicholas Korth. 6, Sharif Alui. 7, Pablo Ortiz. 8, John Zip. 9, Carla Morante. 10, Stephen Vandeventer. Touching first, lane 4, Paul Schweitzer with an unofficial time of 22:99.
Let's go! Let's go, Brandon Fisher! Let's go, Adrian!
Heat 35.
Take your mark.
The national record here is 21:11. In lane 1, Chandler Thomas. 2, Bo Montgomery. 3, Cole Davis. 4, Brandon Fisher. 5, Timothy Phillips. 6, Ortiz Canavante. 7, Nathan Adrian. 8, Daniel Schmidt. 9, Trevor Scheid. 10, Ethan Chase. Touching first, just outside of the record, is Nathan Adrian with an unofficial time of 21:32. Heat 36.
Take your mark.
Lane 2, Ramon Carriedo. 3, James McGowan. 4, Nicholas Gutierrez. 5, Brian Gu. 6, Ali Arabshahi. 8, Jackson Rittenhouse. Touching first, lane 3, James McGowan with an unofficial time of 26:76.
Thank you, gentlemen.
Heat 37.
Take your mark.
Lane 1, Ryan Wong. 2, Zachary Fleming. 3, Alex Mooney. 4, Joe Breitenstein. 5, Logan Wintermute. 6, Arcadio Cancino. 8, Jay Van Buren. 9, Marlon Somwaru. 10, Thomas Murphy. Touching first, lane 5 with an unofficial time of 26:64, Logan Wintermute. Heat 38.
Take your mark.
Lane 1, Brian Bertles. 2, Brent Begali. 3, Jeremy Linneberg. 4, Brian Fedorov. 6, Will Thomas. 7, Alejandro Castillo. 8, Sam Gleason. 9, Hermes Ip. 10, Raul Rodriguez. Touching first, lane 1, Quinn Bertles with an unofficial time of 23:77. Heat 39.
Take your mark.
Lane 1, Blake Hollis. 2, Morgan Fatora. 3, Grant Proctor. 4, Brooks McNamara. 5, Austin Prevost. 6, Reed Malone. 7, Patrick Kearney. 8, Daniel Peralta. 10, Victor Huerta. Touching first, lane 6, Reed Malone with an unofficial time of 22:42. Heat 40.
Take your mark.
Lane 1, Eric Shee. 2, Ben Sappy. 3, Brent Buff. 4, Alexei Averchenko. 5, Dennis Dadashev. 6, Joshua Harmon. 7, Chase Schaff. 8, Aditya Jalihal. 9, Ryan Troy. 10, Noah Becker. Touching first, lane 4, Alexei Averchenko with an unofficial time of 23:74. Heat 41.
Take your mark.
Lane 1, Michael Lee. 2, Corbin Cooper. 3, Abraham Devine. 4, Thomas Prika. 5, Kevin Mendoza. 6, John Lupu. 7, Christopher Fisher. 8, Trey Kulik. 9, Josh Matsumisha. 10, Jacob Birchfield. Touching first, lane 3, Abram Devine with an unofficial time of 21:91. Heat 42.
Take your mark.
Keep an eye on the record of 21.99. Lane 1, Ben Schaefer. 2, Creeder. 3, Kevin Mastracci. 4, Zachary Fong. 5, Yusuf Tabazi. 6, Eduardo Soleil. 7, Bryce Boston. 8, Andrew Appleby. 9, Benjamin Kono. 10, Matthew Healy. And touching first with an unofficial time of 21:33, Zachary Fong.
Thank you, gentlemen.
Heat 43.
Take your mark.
Lane 1, Byron He. 2, Altman Kurosaki. 3, Nate Biondi. 4, Eric Serrier. 5, Sean Hopkins. 6, Sean Vashnov. 7, Nathan Block. 8, Thomas Fry. 9, Austin Wharton. 10, Edwin Relagano. Touching first, lane 3, Nate Biondi with an unofficial time of 22:92.
Thank you, gentlemen.
Heat 44.
Take your mark.
Lane 1, John Lynch. 2, Anshul Kamath. 3, Chris Lively. 4, Christopher Rickner. 5, Kevin Sapajov. 6, Ben Prucha. 7, Mott Donna. 8, Ben Bergen. 9, Robert Lawson. And 10, Shane Forker. And touching first, lane 10, Shane Forker with an unofficial time of 22:66.
Thank you, summer.
Heat 45.
Take your mark.
Lane 1, Jose Samatamaria. 2, Zach Barnes. 3, Kevin Liu. 4, Micah Fesser. 5, Eugene DeCoste. 6, Masaki Ichizawa. 7, Trevor Entz. 8, Aiden Asuncion. 9, Daniel Pierce. 10, Urban Alvarado. And touching first in lane 5, Eugene DeCoste with an unofficial time of 23:67.
Thank you, swimmer.
Heat 46.
Take your mark.
Lane 1, Dylan Cassair. 2, Alex Ong. 3, Eric Wallace. 4, Adam Hahn. 5, Matthew Malby Cole. 6, Peter Brooks. 7, Alexander Demecki. 8, Matthew Frolick. 9, Connor Florence. 10, Jeremy Kim. And touching first in lane 5, Matthew Malby Cole. An unofficial time of 22:11. Next up is event 15, the men's 200-yard IM. There will be 26 heats. Heat 1.